benefited when the legislation, when the government passed it. But my question is, do you remember the last time we got 150,000 petitions to the White House? Now we have the CPC, always every term is passed by the House, but stopped by the President side. So how many, my question is, how many signatures do you think that we can send to the government, to the President, so we can get CPC passed?
You mean the CPC or the Vietnam?
The CPC resolution.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yes, I got it.
I think that you want to have another question over the
Oh, I'm sorry. I remember that big petition. It was one of the first petitions posted on that White House website, right after it opened. And it got a lot of attention. And I think they're having meetings in Washington next week to discuss this as well. So I'm sure the White House and the State Department will be well prepared to discuss your concerns on it.
This was the elimination of Vietnam from the CPC?
This was a petition that the Vietnamese American community filed on the White House We the People website, which allows people to file actual petitions. And they had 150,000 signatures on that petition. Very impressive.
Was that when there was the new constitution that was being decided by the people of Vietnam, and then there was Article 4 that a lot of folks were very, very concerned about, that said that there shall be multiple political parties in Vietnam, only the Communist Party is the only party that must stay in power. And people said that must be eliminated from Article 4.
No, I am one of the co-petitioner of that petition, so that's okay. The other petition is for the Vietnamese all around to petition to change the constitution of Vietnam. This one go way before last year, March of last year. We petitioned the U.S. government to restrain trade and restrain trade in Vietnam before, they move basically.
Right. Well, I think that really right now, I think the most critical thing that we can do is to work together is on the, and came up this morning a lot, is on the TPP. Vietnam has now joined with 11 other nations to want to have favored trade status with the United States to be part of the Trans-Pacific Partnership. I think that for any kind of, and where it is anticipated that it will have a tremendous positive impact upon the Vietnamese government. Increase in their trade will also hopefully increase trade between the United States. The Congress, that pact is administered by, or is designed by the administration. The Congress tends to vote, only has an up or down vote, yes or no on it. I strongly believe that we have at this moment, before that comes back to the Congress, I think the Congress needs to speak out and people need to speak out that there is no Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement. Nothing goes forward unless, why should we be benefiting economic development and benefit for the Vietnamese government without concurrent changes in human rights? And we should hold them accountable. They want something from the United States. This is one of the few times we have direct leverage over them. If they want something, they have to produce now, or else we do not support the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which they desperately want us to do. I think it's critical that we come together on that and we not allow that Trans-Pacific Partnership to go forward. There are 12 nations that want to have this favored trade status. Vietnam is one of them. We do not have to go forward with Vietnam unless they change their way of dealing with dissidents, where they deal with people who are just actively trying to address their government, to have not only religious freedom, but freedom of the press, freedom of the ability to associate, and human rights, ending of human rights violations. I think this is a critical moment now, because they are now coming and asking for something. And this is the time that the Congress and the citizens can step up and say, we're not going to tolerate this if you want, unless you make drastic changes. And I think that's what we need to do.